tracking this now for quite a long time, and it's obvious that what has happened with Saudi Arabia now dropping the petrodollar, dropping the dollar as its only form of international trading, another enormous step in moving power in the world from west to east. This has been going on in many and various ways for a long time. For instance, the global corporations, and this is a point that, oh my goodness me, have I tried to get this across to those in the mainstream alternative media? I don't seem to grasp that when they talk about globalists, right? It's about a global agenda. It's not about America. That's part of it, but it's not about America as an individual country. It's about global power and a global dystopia. Therefore, as I have said so many times, that this global cult I've been exposing for 35 years does not do borders. It has no borders. The borders are for public consumption. Therefore, the whole idea of global dystopia is that it's everywhere. Borders don't matter. And so we have this situation where American corporations, American in quotes, actually cult corporations, have for how many decades now been moving their production out of America and the West into the East. And that's given the East, dominated, of course, by China, control over vast tracts of the global supply chain. And you look at the situation militarily, as they run down Western militaries and build up Chinese militaries. You're looking at a transfer of power from the West to the East. And what has happened with this petrodollar, therefore, fits perfectly into that, because what's been happening now is the development of this BRICS trading alliance. Brazil and Russia and China and South Africa, and more and more are coming in, of course, Iran and what have you. This BRICS alliance is basically focusing itself, not least because the major players, Russia and China, are in the East. It's focusing itself in the East, and India as well, of course. What is happening now is that the dropping of the dollar as the exchange currency, the international currency, means, as Saudi Arabia has said, it's going to now start trading in other currencies, including the Chinese currency. And at the same time this is happening, you've had the Russian stock market putting a stop on trading in the dollar and euros, Western currencies. And this is all about moving power from west to east.
After news of the petrodollar agreement went viral on social media, certain mainstream media agencies have been trying to downplay the significance of what's happening to the US dollar. Even if there wasn't a signed deal, Saudi Arabia's decision to accept only the US dollar for its oil made other OPEC countries do the same and birth the petrodollar system. That system is ending, and so will all the economic benefits we've gained from it over the past 50 years. The Middle Eastern country is now accepting other currencies for its oil deals and has been dumping US treasuries, just like China, Japan, and other countries. As a result, the dollar's share of global reserves has steadily fallen in recent years, going from over 78% in the early 80s to 48% as of 2023. This all indicates an imminent collapse, which Ike warns is much closer than many believe. Let's get back to the video.
I've been making all these years is that countries and so-called governments and dictators like they have in Saudi Arabia, they are pawns in the game. The real decisions are made in the shadows on a global level by a global cabal. And so, yes, Saudi Arabia will be taking orders. Of course, it will. And those orders and all these other decisions that are being made, including the corporate move from creating and manufacturing in America to the East and China, these will all be decisions that are globally coordinated. See, this is the thing that it's very frustrating for me sometimes, well, more than sometimes, to see this focus on America in much of the mainstream alternative media, when actually the real story is happening way above and beyond what we perceive as the American government. Doesn't matter if it's Biden or Trump or Kennedy, it doesn't matter, because the decisions will be made above them. And even if some politicians don't want to make certain decisions, then the circumstances are manipulated by the cult in the shadows to force them into making those decisions, even though they don't want to. This is a very, very significant move here, which can have enormous implications for not just global finance and where the power is, but the everyday lives and ability to function of people all over the world, not least in America. You have a situation now where the banking system is holding on for dear life, because the plan all along, 2008 was just a prelude. The plan all along has been to lead us into a massive financial crash, which will allow them, problem, reaction, solution, to offer the solution of a vastly different economic system, which will be based on digital currencies and will be dystopia on steroids. One of the things that's being pointed out is that the United States' ability to service its debt will be very, very much harmed by the petrodollar disappearing as an international trading currency, or the international trading currency anyway. I had a look this morning at the latest United States debt. And by the way, this is only basically government debt. Add in all the private, personal, corporate debt, and my God, what will the figure be? But government debt is 35 trillion, or coming up to it now. How do you service that kind of debt? And now the petrodollar situation has happened. That's going to be vastly more difficult.
According to Ike, this global cult he has been warning us about is a network of secret societies that is so fiercely compartmentalized that only a few people know the full story about control, censorship, and the plans to enslave the entire human population by taking away our ability to think for ourselves. Ike believes there are plans to enforce a new global order, one that will be absolutely dystopian, so the few can control and completely enslave the many. And the plans to achieve this are already in motion. Ike also warns about the dangers of artificial intelligence, the latest tool of control, with which he believes this secret network plans to subjugate the entire human race. According to Ike, this is the end game, to put AI in charge of everything we read, watch, see, and learn, so that whoever controls AI can control the world. If all of these things happen, the world is going to become a dystopian nightmare, particularly for people who dare to question the narrative. This is why we must resist now before it becomes much too late, by educating others about what's coming and ensuring that our communities are united against these evil plans. Only with a united voice can we begin to reject this dystopic new world order. Please share your thoughts on Ike's video in the comment.
Okay, so I'm just trying to play some background stuff. I'm trying to see what I'm going to get copyright strikes on. I got copyright strikes on the videos that I posted yesterday. The reason why I just showed you guys these three channels, Michael Oziak channel, Miguel Everyone channel, Right to Reality channel, is because I'm going to get bounced around. And the Michael Oziak channel, 155 subscribers. There's probably 40 people that are on there that are real people. The rest are robots and agents. And on the Miguel Everyone channel, there's probably about 5 to 10 that are real people, and the rest, I'm assuming, are agents of some kind. The Right to Reality channel, it seems like there's maybe 5 people that are real people on there, out of 8, and the others are agents. I'm just pointing these things out. I don't even know why as I'm going along. Right here, we're on the Right to Reality channel. There's not very many videos up there because these are backup channels. The Miguel Everyone channel is a backup channel, and I might be forced to go on to one of these other channels. I don't want the Michael Oziak channel to disappear all the way. I have 7 years on the Michael Oziak channel of showing you guys, showing anyone that comes along what it is I'm trying to show you. So I'm showing you an example of the Miguel Everyone channel. There's not very many videos on there, but I am planning on beefing up that channel and putting it up. And some of the videos that I'm posting for the Teresa's seventh daughter for Dean Hayes' series that with Dean Hayes, I'm wording it. Those videos are on the Right to Reality channel. And I'm using this particular moon video. Now, these are my moon videos that I took with my telescope. This is not even a big deal to me anymore. When I'm looking at this, I'm like, it's not even a big deal. I mean, I see it all. You guys are seeing what you were told the moon was when you're looking in the camera right now. And I'm trying to show you that you can see the true creator for yourself everywhere in this realm. We can all see it. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, faces only. The true creator sees everything as one. There is no math in the true creator's work. I'm telling you these things so when you're looking, it'll help you to look. As we're looking around, I'm going to show you some quick images that you'll be able to see every time after I point them out to you. Now, if you are seeing some images now, different faces, because there's all these faces right in front of your eyes, and you're going to see it just as the moon. This is the same moon. If you go to, which I've done throughout my series, I'm not going to do it in this series, but throughout my series, all of them, you'll find different videos of me going and using videos and photographs of the moon from official agencies. I cannot even use certain words anymore because I'll get bombed out. So while I'm standing here talking, I'm using my cropping tool. Here's my trusty cropper, and I'm cropping out on timelines. I know where all the timelines are. It's not a big deal anymore. And this timeline that I'm picking here is right here. You'll be able to see it. And what I do is when I come up to the timeline, I move my cropper back a little bit because I don't want to be right on the timeline because it takes away from the true creator's work. Now, hold on a minute. Every time I move around, I'm touching shit. So I'm trying to adjust things. Okay, so this is a video of the moon coming through my telescope, not a photograph. I'm just using it because I want to show you that you can all do this. You can all go look around yourselves. All right, so the reason why I'm cropping right here is because I'm going for this big, big face that, and I also have to watch out for, I'm getting electromagnetic pulse waves going through the computer and in the camera. See, like just now, I got to keep moving my camera around a little bit in order to prevent that. And that's kind of hard because I got a stick in this hand, I got a cropper in this hand, I got my arms on the table, and I'm bringing the camera back and forth in order to stop that. And the word that I'm looking for, static monitor stick shit that's going on. So that's going to happen here and there. But when I twist the camera back, um, you'll be able to see it. So the reason why I'm coming way over here with my cropper on this particular timeline is because I'm going to give you, it's image within image within image from the veil to the ground. But the image that I'm going for has a lot going on in it. It's going to be really large, okay, for this one particular image. Now I can change this cropping tool and go back and forth and give them to you in a lot of different directions. I'm only going to give this one image in some directions because it's all about angles and distances of perspective, okay? So I'm gonna come back for this timeline. I move my cropper, and you notice my cropping tool has like lumps and shit in it like that. It's purposeful because I know all the timelines, so I purposely use these cropping tools that I have shaped this way so I can go against timelines, into timelines, and all this kind of shit, right? So that I know, so I know I'm when I come down my cropping tool, I'm not talking about all this. I'm just doing it. It becomes second nature. So I got this little bump right here in my cropping tool that I'm going to lay on this particular area of the timeline because it's following this particular timeline. Now I can do this with all the timelines with that same lump. Don't get me wrong, because there's another little lump here. There's a little jig jag here. It was just accidental, coincidental that as I started using the cropping tools, I noticed, oh my God, I'm going to leave that because it's helping me when I'm cropping on timelines. So I did. So anyway, so this timeline over here is the one I'm going for, and I'm going to set it right in there. So the image that I'm trying to get your eyes on right now is going to be eye in here, nose right here. You can see the mouth, you can see everything. You can see the mouth down here. Got a large beard. His beard mustache comes around, joins around this way, okay, and it comes back to the sideburns, and he got his ear in here, okay. He's bald. He's bald here, but he does have all this hair around his face going down to a beard and all this, right? So I'm going to bring my cropping tool back in because what my cropping tool is also doing, along with um, cropping on timeline so you can get one complete image in your vision, then what it's also doing is deflecting and reflecting lights and shadows. And along with this all being no up, no left, no right, no down, back, no forth, no in, no out, no, because the builders don't build according to those things. So our eyes as human beings, we've learned that everything is up, down, left, right, backward, forward, in and out. And we learn, they call it the laws of physics, right? And they tell us those are the laws of physics. So your eyes are going to follow those laws. You're going to need to break the law in order to see this, what I'm showing you. You need to break the law, all your religious laws that you went along with. So anyway, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to keep bouncing my cropping tool so you can get that image in you. Okay, so I have a yellow filter on the camera to add some contrast on the camera right now that I'm speaking to you on. The camera outside on the telescope only has the charcoal filter, and which is just to knock some of the glare out of everything really on the telescope. Okay, so in other words, you can see this for yourself. You don't need the filters, is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm coming back in for that eye again, okay? So now that I'm in there for that eye, you have the whole entire face, you have the beard, you have the sideburns, you have it all, right? So now I can, if I want to, I can change my cropping tools. I would need a third cropping tool, but I'm going to come up here to some of these other timelines, right? So you got other timelines up here to give you that same face, really, because it's the same area. See, the mouth is still here. See, I can still see part of the beard, but it changes the look. The image changes. It's not the same character, if I want to use that term, as this character out here. See the character with the longer face, with the beard down here, the mouth right here, and all this, and eye here, nose here, right? Bald head, right? Sideburns, ear right here. You can see him now. I can put the camera in my hand, and this is what I would ask all of you to do: download, upload, as I've shown you in many of my other series, your own moon photographs, videos if you want to, but photographs. Believe it or not, they don't hide it from us. We just choose not to look. If we do look, we're going to tell ourselves this is your imagination. The only way I can prove to you that it's not your imagination is the more and more of you that look and see the same exact thing, that it's no longer your imagination. That's the reason why I'm explaining this now about one face being right here, this large image. I changed timelines and now I have another image. Okay. So if one person is standing to my left behind me right now as I'm doing this video, and I go like this, and another person is standing on my right, their angles and distances of perspective to this moon and what I'm pointing at for eye, nose, mouth are going to be different. Talking about inches can make the difference, right? Because it's all angles and distances of perspective. When I go from here to here, I'm cutting and missing lots of timelines. There are many timelines in this area that if I was to go on each one of them, boom, right there, I got another one. because this is also a timeline. There are larger timelines for your eyes to soak up. There are smaller timelines. I know where I say I know where they all are, but I don't need to know where they all are. But I know how to find them when I need them. Okay, put it that way. All right. So because there's image within image within image, it gets a little confusing. That's why I don't want to go timeline, 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 because then I'd have to start showing you eye, nose, mouth, right? And I'd have to go like this, and I'd have to come up here to get it out of your, get all of this, what I just showed you up here, out of your vision. And I need to bring this down here to go eye, nose, mouth, chin area, right? And then when I do that, I'm not able, because I only have two hands, I'm not able to go on this timeline for you. So I'll say to you, I'll point that one out, right? For example, and then in order to show it to you better, I would need to get on this timeline right here, this timeline, in order to show you him at this particular image that I'm showing you um, in a better way so that you can see it more clearly, so that it seems more realistic. Okay. And matter of fact, I think it'd be this one, the one particular one that I'm looking at. It is. It's this timeline. It's not even this one, which show you the image that I'm trying to get you to look at right now. Eye, nose, mouth. Looks like he falls. I would say canine with my head tilted to the right a little bit. He's in the canine categories with those particular eyes and that nose. So that means if I want to, I can look for his ears and see if I can fit him at this particular angle. But of course, all I have to do is change one particular angle or come to the next timeline, and I can get, it's not that I'm getting it, I'm changing my angles and distances of perspective. I'm changing the lights and shadows when I do every little thing. Every little change with my cropper is changing my lights and shadows to this monitor, what we happen to be looking at. Even you can see color forming around here because I have the yellow filter. So you're seeing the greenish gray color for the entire face, of that face, right? So I'm cropping, I'm trying to crop the best I can on this timeline here. What the fuck is that light doing? What did it do that? The whole camera just got dark for some reason. Anyways, but the one, so let's start at the beginning. Timeline, eye, nose. Trying to see which mouth I want. This one. That mouth, because then that gives me all this as the beard. That goes with all this facial hair here that goes around the back of the ear and even a little around the back of the ear, which is right here. With that bald head, you can clearly see his eye, you can see his eyebrows, right? But that means I have to stay on that timeline in order to give you him real nice. There we go. There we go. That makes his eye even looking a little better. I can even pull in some hair going around this way with some, by changing my angles and distances of perspective. So it doesn't make it another image. It makes another image within an image, within an image, within image, within image. That's why I'm showing you this. And then when I change this cropping and come down here and crop them down on this one, it's a different image. He's looking in a different direction. It's his eyes are even looking in a different direction. This one is looking off at one particular angle. I'm afraid to say what I think the angles are because I'm probably going to be way off, like 30-degree angle, 60-degree angle. I don't fucking know. I haven't really thought that much about it. But, anyways, these eyes with that nose, with that beard, with that mouth, with all these sideburns is looking off in one particular direction. Then when I change timelines down to here, I make him look off into another direction. Not only that, his beard becomes more crisp and clear on this particular face. His facial features change a little bit. His nose widens a little bit. You can see he loses the mustache because there's no mustache here now. He's only got the beard on this one. I don't see the mustache. Let me see. Nope. So he loses the mustache under his nose, comes back up. Now, I used to have, they're sitting right next to me, but I'm not going to get them. But there's other cropping tools that I have that follow this timeline all the way down through, and you can all feel free to do that. It's just black cardboard. If you when you start realizing that you're seeing the timelines, what am I at already? All right, so I'm already at 20 something minutes, and I only get 30 minutes on this camera. So I guess I'm not gonna get much done. As soon as I get on a fucking roll with this stuff, I gotta end the camera. The other 1.5 hour camera that I can do several hour videos does not have a pause button on it for some stupid reason. So that makes for shitty videos too, because every time I'm in between something, I cannot pause it, and I'm wasting a lot of time, and people get bored and frustrated easily with it. Did I hit play? No, I didn't. All right, what am I at? 20 something minutes, 25 minutes, I think. All right. So, what I wanted to say, what I wanted to talk about a little bit with Teresa's seventh daughter, Jeanne, and Dean, the people that I'm making this series to. Um, Jeanne, I'll talk to Jeanne first on this, and I only have a few minutes, so I'm trying to be brief, and I want to make sure my words come out properly. First, I'll say goodbye, because I don't think that I'm going to get a chance to say goodbye. I didn't know. I was lied to again, so I'm a little pissed off about being lied to, because everyone's got to lie about every fucking thing. It doesn't matter what it is. People just got to lie, fucking lie. Oh man, human population is unbelievable, man. How big a liars. Why lie about the gas, the bread? Why lie about where you went, what time to everybody else I'm talking to. But to Jeanne at the moment, Jeanne, I was told that you had 6 months. I was told that you just got diagnosed and you had 6 months when I offered to make the series to you. That's why I was a little frustrated when you texted me back and said that you were you looked at a few of my videos and you weren't getting anything out of it. I was a little frustrated because I'm thinking to myself at that time, shit, she's got 6 months. If she goes and looks, that's why I mentioned the story about my Uncle Eddie, about wanting to show him the system, the true system, the true creator's work, the false creator / creator, just to show you the true systems so you know before you go. That's why I was mentioning in those first few parts of the series that that's why I was mentioning the things I was mentioning about where I didn't want to waste your time. I knew that you were on a time limit and you had 6 months. Well, I did not know until last night. I got the phone call that you're already in hospice and that you've been on morphine real heavy for the last couple of weeks since I've started this series. So really, you haven't even got to look at the fucking series. So I was complaining about you not being able to give me thumbs down on those videos, and I'm getting frustrated and thinking, well, she's not even participating. I mean, I really wanted to show her. I think it's important. And now, if I would have known that you were already in hospice, now you did make one mention in a text that you said you weren't feeling good because of the medicine. I thought that was chemo. I didn't know that it was fucking morphine and that you were at your fucking ends rope's end, whatever. So I apologize. I didn't know. I was lied to again. It's not an excuse. It's just a fact. Everybody's a bunch of liars. I don't know why. Maybe it was an accidental lie. Maybe they too that lied to me thought that you had 6 months left. If I would have known that, I wouldn't even have tried to bother you with this if I would have known your true condition, because there's no way you're going to be able to see what I'm showing you if you're on heavy morphine. Your eyes are not even going to be able to see the fucking screen. So at best, you're going to be able to listen to me bitch and complain about 7.8 billion zombie slaves, and you're going to just be angry because you're not going to see the evidence. So I apologize for that. I did not know. So YouTube is also fucking with me. I'm going to mention this part to Dean. So, Dean, I don't know that it's going to be really worth doing a series if Jeanne is not going to get anything out of it. So I don't really want to continue doing the series to Gian.
Oh no.
Maybe if Gian's family were not a bunch of zombie slaves too, then it'd be worth it. But they're all fucking zombie slaves, both sides, all sides. It's everywhere. This is spread so fucking heavily. You got people out there thinking that, I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to waste the time. That Trump debate with fucking Biden, and people are saying how good Trump did. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with these zombies, man? Nobody's doing good. They all suck. There is no good choice. It's all done, man. Everything's fucking done. So, Jan, you're leaving at a really good time to be leaving the biosystem.